Have a little time out there. Bring you three people in here. We're going to talk with three different recent members of the amendment, a couple of the Pew girls and Hooper, and we're going to talk first. I'm going to go with the oldest there.
All
okay?
right.
Jessica, when did you graduate? When were you on the amendment?
I graduated in 2011, and I was in the amendment from 2007 through 2011.
All 4
years,
okay.
yes.
What was it like when you auditioned? Were you nervous?
Oh, I was so scared. I was really shy as a high school student.
You were?
I was, and no one, everyone laughs when I tell them that. No one believes me. No one believes me, but I was extremely shy. So it was definitely like a step out of my comfort zone for me to do that. But now I'm so glad I did, because my 4 years in amendment really helped me to break out of my shell and to step out of my comfort zone and to become a more confident person. And I tell everybody, I don't think I would be the energetic, like outgoing person I am today if I hadn't gotten the experience of amendment.
Okay, so you all four, did you ever sing any solos or anything?
I did sing some solos.
Wow, now that really, to me, that would really be. If someone else around was singing, I could bluff it. But if you have to do a solo, you don't bluff it. Do you? No lip syncing there.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you sing?
I don't.
You
is that
sang
weird?
Temporary Home
Okay,
by
I
Carrie
sang
Underwood.
Temporary Home by Carrie Underwood.
Something by
I
Justin
sang
Bieber. I pray.
some
Okay,
song.
that's fine.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't remember. It's been a while. I have to like really remember.
Soprano?
Alto.
Okay.
Very alto.
Did your voice come down a little bit?
Yeah.
Everyone been talking to us, and the voice has come lower, got a little lower, you know.
I think I don't exercise it as much. I mean, I don't use it, like, I don't sing. So, except in my car or in my shower. So it's out of practice.
I even sound good in the shower. No place else. So when you graduated, what'd you do then?
I went to Springfield, Missouri, to a Bible college down there, and I lived in Springfield for about 3 years, and then I moved to Iowa for a year and lived with my grandparents, and then moved back here to Phillipsburg, and I've lived here since 2015.
Okay, what do you do here in Phillipsburg?
Right now I'm a para at the middle school,
Okay.
and I'm also a barista at Hometown Grounds.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So you really feel that it got you out of your shell?
Yeah.
Well, it's obvious it did. As you get involved in the community.
Yeah, I'm involved with the Theater Arts Council and
That's great.
involved with the plays. So.
You're involved with Annie, weren't you?
Yes.
That was great
Yeah.
presentation.
Thank you. It was
The
a lot
kids-
of fun to be a
The
part of.
kids were really good.
They were awesome. Yeah.
What's coming up next?
We haven't figured out for sure yet. Sarah, Rudd, and I still need to sit down and really hash that out and decide what we're gonna do.
Do Phantom. That's my favorite. Do Phantom.
Oh my goodness!
Have you ever seen Phantom?
I have, not live, but I've seen the movie.
Yeah. It'd be really difficult to
Oh my goodness!
do all that stuff. Bring the chandelier down, particularly. That'd be kind of hard to bring the
Yeah.
chandelier down. Okay, so have you seen a lot of people? Of course, you're the younger people here. Very
Yeah.
many coming back from recent.
I tried to get a bunch of my people back,
Sure.
but we've kind of all spread out, and
Sure.
so
Right.
they're like, "Sorry, we have stuff going on." But Josh Gale is here, and he was in it with me.
Okay.
So it's exciting to see him. I haven't seen him in a while, and Mrs. Kennedy was the director my junior and senior year. So of course, it's always good to get back with her.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Okay, Amy. Okay,
Hi.
you graduated in 15,
Yes.
right? What do you remember about amendment?
I remember auditioning in 2011, and I had watched Jessica for 4 years, and every concert I just sat in the audience like spellbound. Like I wanted to do it so bad.
Wow.
And so
So you had an impact. Not only did you change your personality, you know, you had an impact.
So I had to audition, and I got my friend to audition with me. And after my 8th grade, you know, like 8th graders got out early from the school year, so my mom walked with me to the high school, and we saw it on the door, and I was on there, and I was so happy, like the audition list, my name
Oh,
on there.
yeah. So they listed it.
Yeah.
There's my name. I made it.
It was so exciting. It was like one of the most exciting
Were
moments.
you
of my
nervous
life.
too? before?
Oh yeah. I was like, "There's no way."
She was more shy than I was.
Oh yeah. Even
So.
through high school, I never really kind of. This is from college, so.
What about the song you sang and for your audition? Did you have to sing a particular song? Could you practice for it, I guess, or did they give it to you cold?
No, we went to some like rehearsals after
okay.
school.
All right,
yeah,
all
we
right.
learned
That
a
makes
little
sense,
chunk
sure.
of a dance, and we practiced a portion of a song, but I don't remember what song it was.
You don't?
so-
Okay.
No, I don't remember.
Did you like doing the dance part of it too? Did
Yeah,
you-
and Jessica helped me practice because she was the
Really?
I
student
remember
aide,
that.
yeah.
I remember
And
that.
so we'd go home after school, and she'd help me work on it. My friends would come over.
We had like clinics in my garage. I was
Oh,
helping
wow.
like a lot of the people that were going to audition that year.
Did you help Hannah too? Or maybe
No,
you
I
weren't
was
around.
gone.
Yeah,
I was
okay, you weren't
gone.
around.
Sorry.
She abandoned me.
So what are you doing now? What'd you do then when you graduated after that?
I moved to Waxahachie, Texas, which is in the Dallas area, and I went to school there for a little bit, and now
She's married.
I'm married now.
Oh,
She got
wow,
married this
okay.
summer.
Yes, got married June 30th.
Oh, wow.
yeah, like just
Literally.
happened.
Okay, wow.
And so my husband and I live in Waxahachie now, and I'm not in a career yet. I just work at Domino's. I deliver pizza, so
Oh, okay, you
do
deliver
what you got to
pizza,
do.
Domino's.
Yeah.
I've never had. I guess I have. Hayes has a Domino's. I've had a Domino's pizza in Hayes, I think. So you live in the Dallas area?
Yeah.
She's also a children's pastor at a local church.
We haven't started yet.
Okay, but they just got hired.
Okay. I'm doing what?
Just like teaching kids at church on Sundays.
Oh, okay,
so,
great.
yeah.
Okay, so do you have to drive to Denton much?
Yes.
I hate Denton. I hate driving to Denton. The roads, we're always working on the road.
Yes, they'll never stop.
Fort Worth was bad. It's pretty good now, but Denton, and then you go into Dallas, and that's not very good. I hate
It's a
Denton.
mess.
In fact, when I go down and see my son in Houston, I take 183 down and go west to Austin.
Go
and
around
everything.
it?
I just,
Skip the DFW because it's too busy.
I've never. Last time I went there, an hour, I was just stuck there, not moving because of Denton.
Yeah.
And they've been forever on the roads there.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City too, but anyway, that's another story. So what do you remember most, Amy, about being in the amendment?
Well, I remember my freshman year we sang "Thank You for the Music" by ABBA, and I love ABBA.
Oh yeah.
And I had a solo in the second verse, and I sang it. I surprised Jessica. She didn't know I had a solo because wouldn't do a solo her freshman year. She's too scared. But I did it, and she was there at the telethon when we were performing, and so I just watched her in the audience, and that was like, I was thanking Jessica for getting me into amendment, and I started tearing up. I had to stop looking at it. I was trying to sing, but I was crying. So that's like, that song makes me think of her.
Sure.
So. But I remember my friends, like, it was one of my favorite things about high school. When I think about high school, I think amendment was just so, like, it was just, I got to do it with my sister for a couple years and with my best friends, and it was a lot of fun. Tours and benefits and everything. So.
Did you tour anywhere?
Oh yeah, we went to Branson, Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Denver.
Okay, and had to go through Denton too, didn't you? Okay. And what about you? Do you remember any tours you took?
Yeah, Branson was my freshman year, and that was so fun. We also did, one year was just Kearney, one year was Omaha.
Wow.
What was my other year? I don't remember the
Okay,
other
that's fine. That's fine. That's great. Thank You for the Music is in Mamma Mia. That's something you ought to
Yes.
think about.
I know, I love Mamma Mia.
Yeah, that's something you ought to think.
That
That's
would be a lot
of
of
great
fun.
music in Mamma Mia.
Yes, there
And it
is.
doesn't take a lot of scenery for that.
Right.
The beats.
Yeah.
So fun.
Mamma Mia. You ought to put a vote in for me with Mamma Mia.
All right, I'll let her know. Sarah, if you're watching.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, and so you're down there, and so you came all the way back?
Yeah,
this
just
way?
for this, yeah.
Okay, that's great. All right. Okay, now, Hannah, you're the young one here.
I
right?
am.
When did you graduate?
I graduated in 2016.
Okay, so you've been out 3 years. then.
Yep.
So what do you remember about the audition?
Well, I auditioned my freshman year, so 2012, I think, I auditioned. and I did not make it.
Oh,
And
your name was not on the list.
it was not. I remember I walked all the way to the high school and I checked for my name and it wasn't on there, and I was so sad. And so the next year, my sophomore year, I was like, I'm not auditioning. I didn't get it the first time, and my parents were like, you're auditioning.
Yeah, we made her do it.
Yeah, I was pretty much like, and I was like, I really don't want to do this. Well, I loved it. I don't even remember the audition song, but I loved it. And so then I made it my sophomore year, I made it my junior year, and I made it my senior year. My sophomore year, Annette Kennedy, who's directing this reunion, she was my director. And then my junior and senior years, I had Robert Roth, and
right.
loved him. I wish he could be here. He lives in Florida. So he
to
told
come.
me, yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to make it, but I loved him, and we just got along really well. And when I was auditioning for him, we had like a specific dance we did, but we got to kind of choose our own song that we soloed. So I sang
okay.
Cough Syrup by Young the Giant, and
Cough syrup.
Cough Syrup.
She could sing it for you right now.
There's a song named Cough
There
Syrup.
is, and it's kind of about going through hard times, and then like the most specific line is one more spoon of cough syrup now. You know, cough syrup, it tastes horrible, but it helps you get better. And so that's kind of the theme of that song. And so that meant a lot to me when I sang that. And I don't remember what I auditioned with my junior year, but I loved Amendment. I was the only person from my graduating class who was in Amendment. Everybody else was younger than I am or older than I was.
Really?
So in 2015, Amy and some of her class was in there. 2016, I was the only senior in there. Everybody else was younger than I was. And so it was a little weird, but I loved getting to connect with those guys. Like, otherwise I would never had connections with those guys who were younger than I was, because I didn't have like any family who was like in that age. Like with Amy, I'm like, even if I wasn't in Amendment, she was friends with them. I got to see them anyway. But when I was a senior, like I got to connect with those kiddos who were younger than, I say kiddos, they were like 2 years younger than me, but I got to connect with them, and I wouldn't have gotten to do that otherwise, and so.
Well, what are you doing now?
I live in Phillipsburg still. I moved to Sterling and then back to Phillipsburg, and then I moved to Omaha and then back to Phillipsburg. So now I'm a para at the elementary school. I love it so much, so much.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you're all really involved with the younger generation. You will be involved with the younger generation.
Right.
And have kept track of each other through all the
Yes, we're all really
but,
close still. So
very good. Are you looking forward to practicing? And are you know the songs that you're going to be singing already?
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to do that?
Yes, yeah. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's something that I enjoy getting to share with my sisters.
Yeah. And I'm kind of with Amy. Like when Jessica was in Amendment, I was like, oh my gosh, because like I loved watching them like dance in their beautiful dresses. And then I remember my freshman year when Amy was in it, I would like be in the audience, kind of like singing with her, like just like, yeah, you go, girl, you know. And then I got to share that. I got to wear the pretty dresses and use the props and have all that fun.
I have a feeling, Hannah, that you didn't take the amendment the same reason that Jessica did. Did you? Were you?
She was not shy.
Were you outgoing?
Yeah,
depends on the
she's not
setting.
shy.
It
She
depends
was.
on the
I
setting.
guess shy. Okay, all right.
She
Well,
was.
we hope you have a great day today and
thank you.
tomorrow, and enjoy. You know, you have a long life ahead of all you doing
Thank
things.
you.
Okay, fine. Thanks a lot.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
So much.
Okay, I think again I want to mention the fact that I think Robert is going to come on there. We'll move over here and get our next guest on here. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Tomorrow at 2 o'clock will be the chance to see these young ladies and a lot of other people in concert here. It's been a ball talking to these people, and we're looking forward to being here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. There is admission, $10 for adult, $5, but this money goes to help out the program. On this side, is making it this side okay. We had Robert on Thursday, and we missed something because he brought his coat. That was the original jacket, right, that you wore?
Yeah, and it's set in my closet for 50 years.
You get that, Jordan? Okay.
Set
we'll
in my
get
closet for 50 years.
50 years.
And it seems there's something in the closet because it just doesn't fit anymore.
It's shrunk.
Yeah, it's shrunk.
Okay. Well, I wonder how many still have their jackets. Did you have to buy your jackets then, right?
I believe, yes, we did.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow, look at that.
Yep.
Man, look at the lining in it. Nice lining in there too. But it did shrink, huh?
Yeah, it
Okay. Robert, let's talk a little bit about your time. When were you in 70?
Yeah, the year of 68, 69 was my first year. It was when I was a sophomore. So I was there 3 years.
Yeah.
And
And then I think you had to belong in the choir too before
yes,
you could be the.
we were in the choir, but we had to try out for the amendment.
How was your audition? Did you?
I don't remember. I think I did okay, obviously. But,
Yeah,
but
I was just scared.
it
of
was,
space, you know.
things like that scare me. Things like this scare me. But,
Yeah, that was what Jessica said. I had her on that. She said she was an introvert, kind of, maybe a little bit. But when she took amendment, it just brought her out. Made her to be an extrovert. So it felt good. What was your? I know it's been a long time, but what do you remember about the amendment?
Well-
did you do any dance steps in or anything?
We didn't do dance steps.
Yeah.
We stood pretty still. But we had it was a good group of, I think we were all friends or buddies, and it was a good time with each other. We practiced, sometimes in the morning before school, sometimes on Sunday afternoons we practiced at the junior high building.
Sure.
I don't know if
It's a long time. Do
Yeah.
you remember any of the songs you sang?
Well-
Are you singing any songs today that you sang then you remember?
I don't remember for sure. We sang a few patriotic songs because it was during the time, the ending of
Vietnam.
about the end of the Vietnam
Yeah,
War.
yeah.
It was Freedom Isn't Free is one I remember, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and there were some others.
Yeah.
And we sang sometimes at churches or at different gatherings, so we had some religious songs and we had some songs of the day, I suppose, but I don't remember too many titles.
You, I think you mentioned Thursday where the name amendment came from. Now, where did the amendment come from? The name?
I guess, from what I've been putting together, from what I remember, Mr. A. Strike wanted to come up with a name for it, and so he kind of put it to our group to come up with the name. And I believe, from what I've told, not that what I remember, but what I've been told, Barbara Van Allen thought of the name Association because the Association was a group that was singing then, and that didn't quite fit. And then I think we talked about amendment, and because I think the thought of patriotism and the Constitution, and also because amendment was an addition to the choir or to what we were there, and amendment kind of is that. I think that was settled on through one way or another.
Okay, well, and then of course, I've been asking on what you did. You worked for your dad, then became registered of deeds.
Yes, and I've lived in Phillipsburg except when I went to college all my life.
Where'd you go to college?
I ended up at Hayes.
That's good.
I enjoyed my time down there, yeah.
And it's a beautiful campus
It
down there.
is.
It really is a nice college down there.
Yeah.
And neither one of my kids went there, but I couldn't talk them into it. They had other schools, but
Yeah.
it was just a good time. So how have you enjoyed seeing all the people here?
Oh,
We're
that's
doing a lot of
neat.
acquaintances.
Yeah, a lot. Thankfully, there's some others about my age that are here, and but there's a lot of young people that it's nice to see. Yeah.
Okay, well, and your last night to get there, that was fun, talking about with so any, have you sung any songs yet, or
Yeah, we're
how are they
working.
doing it in there? Are they just
They-
bring up different, if you're a soprano, you sing together a little bit, and then, or how's that work?
Yeah, we're just going like songs like we used to. We go through certain parts, and the basses have to sing their part, and the sopranos do their thing, and we're getting ready for tomorrow.
Okay, all right, well, 2:00 tomorrow, we keep plugging that, and
Okay.
Bobby, we see you a lot, Robert, thank you,
Yeah.
keep up good work, and do you have a solo tomorrow?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
Thank you, yeah.
Robert Kazee with us, who takes his jacket with him. I'd like you to try that jacket on for us, Robert. You want to try that on for us? Get you back on the camera here. It might. Well, it's not.
I had my arm in it yesterday.
Well, hey.
Okay, it
Okay,
only lacks about 8 inches in the front.
So sorry about that. Oh yeah. Okay, you did grow a
Probably
little
needs
bit,
the
didn't you?
clown
Okay,
shoes now.
thank you. Okay. Thanks a lot,
Okay, yeah.
Robert. All right, next. You going on, David? David, are you going? You want to go on here? Okay, we'll get David Aerosmith on.
I figured I was gonna have to, since other than you,
Okay.
I'm the oldest one here.
You might send someone else up, Robert, and remind them back there. Have a seat here. I don't know how many we're going to talk to.
Do you remember Ed Pentecost?
Oh yeah.
I used to come down to the station and help him on Saturdays, sometimes
Okay.
with his
Yeah.
program.
Really.
I've been in radio and TV off and on ever since.
David Aerosmith with us here, and when see you graduated in
I
70.
graduated
Okay,
in
so you've
70.
been around a while then.
Yeah, I was with the First Amendment
Wow.
back in '68.
When they started that,
Yes.
how did they start? He
Well, the select group, as it was called then, had been around for a number of years as the Madrigals.
right.
And '68, the director A Strike decided we need to modernize a tad, and the name amendment came up, and it's been the amendment now for 50 years.
And Robert explained how that happened. You know, the amendment to the regular choir there. Okay, so
Yeah,
so what did you sing? Bass?
I sing the bass.
Sing
Yeah,
bass.
I tried to tell people otherwise, but they never believed me.
What was your audition? Did you have to audition then?
Well, at that time, no.
He
Director
picked you.
A Strike had listened to us during choir
Sure.
and picked people.
Okay.
So I did not have to audition, but I know that there were many that did.
Yeah. Okay. And any favorite song you remember back then?
Oh, not off the top of
Patriotic. A
my
lot of
head.
patriotic songs.
A lot of patriotic songs, especially since we were called the Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one that was around for a lot of years that I can't even remember the title
Sure,
to now. It's only been 50 years.
It's been a while, hasn't
Just
it?
a tad.
Yeah,
Just a tad,
Just
yes.
a tad, yeah. So then when you graduated,
Then I graduated in 1970. Yep.
wow, and then what happened then?
Attended the University of Kansas
Okay.
for 5 years, and then just worked my tail off ever since.
So what have you been? What'd you do? What'd you
I
do?
was an architect and a contractor.
Architect. Wow.
I also bent tacos, flipped pizzas, tossed hamburgers,
Really?
whatever I had to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you live now?
I'm still in Topeka.
Okay, all right.
Still in Topeka, although I didn't want to be originally.
Yeah, Topeka's changed a little bit, hasn't it? The
It
whole
has,
government's
it has.
changed. And of course, your dad was for a long time senator.
Yep, he was senator for quite a while from Phillipsburg. Yep.
And I knew your brother Jeff.
Jeff,
Jeff.
and he was in the amendment as well.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he passed away 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't have him this year.
I know he used to be out there golf. He plays a pretty good golfer.
He was a very good
He
golfer.
played with my son all the time. He
Yeah.
played golf with them all the time. They'd be out there playing.
Oh, yeah.
I'd go out and pick them up. They'd be out there playing.
Him and Will Smith from down the bank, and yep,
Yeah, there were a lot of good golfers.
Oh, yeah.
Back then. So, were you involved in sports here?
I was football, basketball, track, and baseball.
Wow. Yeah.
Just kind of
Sometime they had American Legion baseball then.
had American Legion baseball still back then. I was not on the first team or anything,
Yeah,
but
well.
took part.
Sure. Did you, when you were doing the amendment, did you have the people in the amendment have any impact on the songs you sang, or did Mr. A Strike usually kind of figure it out?
Oh, I think Mr. A Strike made the initial
Okay.
thinking about
What song?
order
Sure.
and what songs,
Yeah.
and if we couldn't stand it, he'd pitch it.
Sure. Okay.
So,
well,
but he made the initial thinking on it.
did you
Yes.
get back to Phillipsburg very much, or is this?
I have not in quite a while. I
Okay.
used to come through here a lot, visit my folks. It's great,
sure.
but We haven't been back here in quite a while, no.
Do you, last night, did you see a lot of, I saw you talking to a lot of different people last night.
Oh, yeah, it was good to see people I hadn't seen in a long, long time. Some of them 10 years, some of them 40.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, very good. Well,
Including you.
yeah, I know, yeah. David, I know that you have to get back
Well,
singing in here.
we're rehearsing, yes. We're in the
Okay,
process of rehearsing.
You want everyone to come, tell it, look at the camera and say, come tomorrow at 2 and see us sing, right?
2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Sunday,
Okay.
the Amendment 50th reunion.
Oh,
Be there.
Good job there.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David.
Told you I used to be in radio.
Okay, I know. Good job. We have another lady I just met last night. She's.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
Marcia.
Yes.
Okay, when were you in the amendment? Okay, that was in 72. 72, okay.
Yes.
Trent, Marcia
Yes.
Trent, okay. And what do you remember about the amendment?
Oh, gosh. I was only in it my senior year,
Okay,
but had a lot of fun. I guess probably I remember more the musicals too that we
sure,
did.
yeah.
But as far as the amendment, going to Hayes when we were on TV there, and I think sang some Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And of course, I remember Mr. A. Strike. He was awesome. And we were talking today about some of the little things that he would tell us, like, and I even remember them still to this day,
Yeah.
as is the twang, don't have that Kansas nasal twang.
well, yeah, they call
Yes.
that mid-America twang, is what
Yes.
they call it,
Breathe through your mouth, not through your nose. Yeah, those were fun times.
Okay, so you had to, when you were a senior, did you have to go through any kind of a rehearsal or anything to show that you could do it, or did-
Oh, you mean a tryout?
Tryout,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really remember it, but I
No.
guess I made it,
Well,
so.
the girls we had and looking at the list, saw the name on them, that I made it,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, oh, I remember
So
that,
What do you
yeah.
remember about going to high school here?
About going to high school here, mostly the musicals,
Yeah.
because that's something I
did
really,
it a
really
lot,
loved.
yeah.
And, I was in, let's see, I was in Little Mary Sunshine, and then I was in The Music Man.
Music
Played
Man,
Witta,
that's-
Witta Peru.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Wow.
I did. I played Witta Peru, so that was really fun.
Yeah.
And I remember one funny thing about Little Mary Sunshine. I think that's what it was called, Little Mary
Yeah.
Sunshine. And and Pete Leatham and I were paired up. He was the Canadian Mountie, and I was,
Yeah.
one of the girls. And we started doing this in the background. I don't even remember what was going on out
Yeah.
front, but he would put his hand on my knee, and I'd go, oh, no. And because, we're prim and proper, right? And then he'd put it on again. I said, oh, no. And then finally he stopped. And so I took his hand and put it on my knee. And I think we got a little bit of a laugh from the
Yeah,
crowd,
well,
but
that did,
there was
you know.
other more
I
important
remember-
things going on.
I remember.
Anyway, that was fun.
Okay, and then after school, where'd
After
you
school?
go? After
After
you graduated?
school, I moved down to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Well, first I went to Colby Community College.
Okay.
And I met my husband there, and we moved to Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Okay.
So we're pretty far away. And there went to NMSU, the New Mexico State University. And we didn't finish because we both started a construction company.
Oh,
So-
construction?
Yes,
Wow.
a small one. And then I started working in the schools. And so I just recently retired from the school district, 28 years.
Oh, wow.
And we still have our business going,
Okay.
and my son is about ready to take over our business, so.
Okay, well, that's great.
I know.
So it's a little ways to come up here, and you got,
Yes.
it's like one of these, can you get there from here, Can you
Yes.
have to go take a lot of highways, right?
Yes, there's different ways to come. Sometimes we come up Albuquerque and over, sometimes we go straight up 54, but it's about 14 hours
Okay.
with all the stops.
Well, it's great that you're able to come back for this, and when you heard about it, because I've got to go, did you?
Yes, I did, right off the bat. I honestly haven't come back very often because it is so far.
Sure.
I just come up to see my parents and,
Back,
get back.
yeah.
But, yeah, it's, So this, I really did want to come. I think I only came to our first reunion, and I haven't been to another one since, I'm sorry to say. So
Well,
this was
came here
fun.
for this has been fun, I bet.
Yes,
You've
it
been
was,
seeing
it's
a
been
lot of
really
people
fun.
you know.
Oh, yeah,
Hadn't
absolutely.
seen for a long time. Well,
Exactly.
very good. We hope that things go well tomorrow and today. Have you sang any yet? Have you rehearsed at all?
Yes,
out
we
there
have,
yet?
We're mostly Bridge Over Troubled Water
Oh,
is what we're
wow.
working on. That's a complicated one.
It is. It is.
It sounds
one of my
so
favorite
great.
songs. One of my favorite songs.
Me too, me
Okay,
too.
all right,
so.
man. We hope things go well, and then getting to see her at 2 tomorrow. Come out and enjoy the scene.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Marcia.
Be there.
Appreciate-
Thank you, Tad.
Have a good trip back to
Thank you.
Acushnet, okay?
Bye-bye.
All right. This is fun this morning, talking out of the past. And I was here. I came in here in '68, so I remember a lot of these people. Hi, James.
Hi,
How are you doing?
doing fine. You're still around. Fantastic.
Okay. How was your tryout when you tried out for the amendment?
I don't remember my
1970. Okay.
I don't remember my tryout for the amendment because I was with the Madrigal Society my freshman and sophomore
Okay.
year before it switched
Oh,
over.
so you just
I
went-
was kind of grandfathered in.
Okay.
So to speak.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, do you remember some of the songs you sang that you liked?
Oh, let's see. In the amendment, really, they kind of all
It goes together. doesn't it?
blends together for the most part. But I remember more or less individual
Sure.
events and things that happened.
Yeah.
There was a little side note. We sang in choir one number, "The Impossible Dream," and
Yeah.
it's been so inspiring, and I love it. And I sing to myself all the time that I'm going to be doing that as a solo tomorrow.
Well, you are. Great. All right. Last year, Kearney had Man of La Mancha, where that is from, and I went up to see it, and that's one of my favorite songs. I was thinking back when I was in the choir, and we didn't have select, we just had a choir. And I'm in a big choir in high school, and this is back in the late '40s, so that goes back. The only song I remember singing was "When You Walk Through a Storm." I can still remember that "Walk Through a Storm" thing, and I still remember the words on that. But
Yeah,
that's-
we did that one. That's one we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see. We did one for the Music Man, Good Night Ladies.
Yeah.
And vividly in my mind, I see Barbara Van Allen doing the pick a little, talk a little, talk a little, pick a little part.
Yeah, right. I had her on earlier, and she talked about she's going to be the MC, I guess, as she was going on. So then after you graduated, Jim, what'd you do?
I went to Kansas State University for 6 years. My undergraduate degree was in agriculture. My main interest was entomology, which is the study of insects.
Sure.
I did that in 4-H when I was here. I still have my, 50 years later, I still have my 3 insect collections.
With the pin stuck to it. Yeah, that was always my favorite thing at the 4-H fair, the fair to go and look at the entomology. So all the bugs you have to catch and everything.
I did a master's in crop protection. Okay, at that point in time, then my first job was with Servitec, which is agricultural consulting, and then I went with Farmland Industries, local cooperatives, as an agricultural consultant.
Right.
Then, when agriculture bottomed out in '84, I moved to Greeley, Colorado. Worked with my uncle Dwayne Francis. The old people remember him being here once upon a time.
Sure.
And at that point in time, decided to become a teacher. So I
Wow.
went to University of Northern Colorado
Got a
there.
teacher's degree?
Did about 5 semesters of that, and eventually got my master's in special ed.
Wow.
Would teach, sub-teach, nothing ever really caught on. But the subbing is really
Okay.
fun.
So you still live in Greeley then?
Yes.
Okay, so.
A little aside too, vocal music was my major thing in high school.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was probably the major way that Mr. A. Strike was probably an impact because he built my self-esteem. That was the one thing I did, the one thing he pulled out of me, and I still get goosebumps thinking about
Sure.
him and things I did. So when I went on to Kansas State University, I used vocal music as my stress release, my recreation.
Okay.
I was with the Collegiate Chorale
I heard-
there,
yeah,
and we did a production of Jesus Christ Superstar. I remember that one. I was with the Kansas State University Varsity Men's Glee Club one spring.
Wow.
Where every spring they tour someplace, and we went to Conception, Missouri, where they have a basilica and performed there. That was absolutely beautiful acoustics there. Marcia mentioned something about Little Mary Sunshine. I enjoy the high school version. I was one of the forest rangers, and my persona was being very, very wrinkled. Backstage, I sit on my outfit to make sure it was super wrinkled, and Denzel Nonhoff was next to me. He always leaned over my shoulder, so we had fun with those parts. And then when I was in college, I did 1 hour operetta workshop, and guess
Wow,
what?
you really have been around music.
Guess which
Did you ever thought of
production they
maybe
did?
make a profession in music instead of going into agriculture?
Oh, I know my limitations. I may have the voice, but I'm not very good at sight reading or some of the other
sure.
mechanics.
Yeah,
But
well,
that 1 hour credit in college, operator workshop, we also did Little Mary
yeah,
Sunshine.
right,
So that was
yeah.
kind of a nice coincidence.
Okay, well, you remember any of the songs you're singing here today? It's just
None of these songs we ever did
Okay.
at all at that point in time. So it's all new to me.
well,
I'm glad we've had material online that we were able
watch
to
that.
study
Okay, very
from.
good.
That helps tremendously.
okay, well, very good. Well, Jim, we appreciate you coming back. I remember everyone I've talked to so far when they were in the amendment, because I'd always come and it's a great show. And had you started dancing yet? Yeah.
Oh, no.
That was later on.
But if you got time, I got two real little anecdotes
Okay.
to share with you.
Yeah, sure.
When cable TV came to town, everyone had to have their 5 minutes of fame performing
Sure.
on the program. So Mr. A. Strike says, we're going to perform, but oh my gosh, how are we going to get the risers down there? Relax, Mr. O. I'll carry them in my station wagon.
Okay.
And so Dave Aerosmith, Nancy Savalas, and I were transporting them, and we turned off Main onto that street just east of the Quonset. And not realizing how much weight I had in the back, I wound up doing a complete 360 in that street. So
with
we got
the risers in the back, yeah. Okay.
so we got that rush. And the other time, our 2 hour bus ride to Oakley for vocal competition, Mr. O got off the bus with me at the time. He said, well, Jim, let's go in, listen to a couple solos, then we'll go warm up, and then you'll perform. So as we walked in, my name was announced.
Oh, did you have to sing? No,
So I had to sing totally cold. I forgot the second verse, sang the first verse twice, and still got a 1 or a 2 on it.
Did you?
So, because my mechanics were good.
Oh, thanks for sharing yours, Jim. I really appreciate it. Great job. And he wants you to show up at 2 tomorrow afternoon too. Okay, I think we have our next guest. I think he's one of the younger ones going to have here. I think I'll find out when he.
And then I think they're taking a break, so
Oh,
we'll have to cut.
just okay. He's our last guest. Then are we going to take? Are we going to come back then on the break? Okay, we'll see. Okay, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, you're graduating in 23. Wow. So you're what, freshman now?
Yep.
Okay, and so this is your first year in amendment. So you don't have anything really to share with any of the people back there yet, right?
No, not really.
Okay, let's talk about how you got it in amendment. You have to try out for an amendment?
Yes.
What'd you do?
We did a piece, and we sang our part, like I sang my bass part, and we danced. We choreographed a dance, and then we did a solo.
Okay, is he talking? Can you pick that up? Will you pick him up? You might talk a little louder, or you get a little louder on the thing. So you're just a freshman. Are you involved in any sports here in the school?
Yeah, I play football and I wrestle.
Russell, what about football? Did you have a good, last night you had a good scrimmage and everything, did that go pretty well?
Yeah.
What do you play? What's your position in football?
I play right guard, and on defense, I'm a tackle and a nose guard.
Tackle and what?
A nose guard,
Okay, and what do you in wrestle? What weight do you wrestle? What will you be wrestling?
probably 215.
250,
around there.
okay. And how did you get involved? What made you want to, have you always sang?
Yeah, I've always been interested in music in general, and I thought amendment would be something to further my ability as far as singing.
Did you do any other singing? Did you do any of the musicals they've had here?
No,
Like
Not yet.
Annie, they had Annie this summer. Have you ever thought you might want to do something like that?
I never thought about like being in the play, maybe something behind the scenes, like as far as like art director and like.
Okay, oh, okay, all right, so you're just, well, you're just brand new on the amendment. In fact, it says this is your first year on that, and you haven't had very much school. How often do you practice?
We practice every day.
Every day, okay, and what songs are you practicing?
Right now, we're practicing Cruising for a Bruising, Waving Through a Window. Oh, what's another one?
Oh, good.
Standing
That's
for
fine,
the Brave,
okay.
yeah.
Are you gonna be singing with this group? You know any of the songs they're singing here?
No.
I probably not. They're all from back by here and other ones, people, but you'll have a good time. Do you learn music can you read music?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so it's okay, well, let's get back in there and during your practice and good luck in the football season. How are things looking? Pretty good?
Yeah, they're looking pretty good so far.
Okay, I'm fine. Thanks for coming on, I appreciate it. Uh-huh.
Thanks for having me.
Uh-huh. Okay, we're gonna, I'd always call him Mr. A. Strike, but I didn't realize that they call him Mr. O, which I didn't
And they
know.
called me Mrs. O.
I didn't realize that. And we have a very special guest here with us. Are you singing at all today?
I am singing.
Okay, this is
Lenora.
Lenora, okay, and you were his wife,
Wife.
and you lived here for how many years?
We were here for 5 years.
5
It was
years,
the
and-
first 5 years that he taught.
And you told me, listening to your conversation, that you went around trying to find all the houses you lived in.
Yeah, I did.
You found all but one, right?
Right, we lived in 4 different houses when we were here. We just kept getting closer to the schools with the rentals. You know, when we
sure.
first came, there was only one rental that was even, available. And so, but people then knew that we were trying to get closer to the school, so it was like every year we moved, but that was good.
Okay, so Lenora, then where'd you go when you left here?
We went from here to Denver, Colorado, and Bob taught there for 18 years at Mapleton High School. And one of the amendment groups came and visited us
Okay,
there.
I
We had a
remember that.
concert,
I remember
right.
that, uh-huh.
Right, and then from there we went up to the mountains of Colorado in Frisco, which is where Bob is now. We scattered his ashes up in the
Okay,
mountains.
wow.
And then we went to Las Vegas, Nevada for 12 years.
Wow.
And then retired in Las Cruces for 2.5 before
Las
he
Cruces,
passed.
well, there's another lady
Yes,
here from
right, there
across
is,
the-
yes, uh-huh.
Trent used to be.
Yes,
a
Marcia
Trent.
Trent,
No. Okay,
right.
were you in the same, did you know her when she was here? I don't know where she was in the years. Was she in?
I can't remember, I think she was at the tail end of when we were here,
Okay,
so,
okay,
yeah.
so, but then I saw you
Yeah.
sitting together last night and talking.
Right,
and-
yes.
well, it's good.
Yeah.
So you both live there now then, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct, uh-huh.
You come the same way she does? She always says all these different ways she comes up when she drives.
Yeah, I actually spent the first night I made it a 2-day trip since I was
Sure.
driving alone.
Sure.
And spent the first night in Tucumcari, New Mexico with a
Okay.
friend, and then came up the last 8 hours
Okay.
yesterday,
Well, that's
so,
good. All right,
yeah.
fine. Then coming on there. So what do you remember about the amendment and how Bob is involved with it?
Well, he was a true music educator, but 1969 was the second year he was here, and the Vietnam War was still going on, and he decided that he wanted to start a select singing group, and he didn't call them a madrigal society or show choir.
Sure.
He always called his special small groups select singing groups, because then they went out and they did public relations
Sure,
kinds
right,
of
yeah.
concerts for different groups
Right.
around town. But they wanted to make a statement about what was going on in the world at the time. And their outfits were always red, white, and blue, and they sang patriotic songs. And then as they, moved through the next 3 years, then they added, other kinds of music to share. But when they started out, it was about, the patriotic songs, the Simon and Garfunkel and all of those songs that were being written at the time that were kind of like battle hymns.
Sure.
To,
Right, yeah.
and it, you know, and they felt like they were making their contribution to the country through music.
That's
So,
great. You know,
yeah.
so, and it's amazing how it's lasted for 50 years, you know.
That, I was, you know, just amazed that the name has lasted, because usually when a music director leaves, you know, a school and a new one comes in, they tend to rename the group, right? And so for it to have, this group to have maintained their name for 50 years is just an amazing tribute, I think, so.
It is, and I just learned this week how the amendment came. I had no idea where it came from before.
Oh, okay.
Before I talked with you and other people how it came that way.
Right,
And
right.
It's amazing that I just assumed the amendment, but I didn't. When I came to the Madrigals, I came in '68, so they were
Okay,
the Madrigals.
right.
And then the next year
Yes, they
changed
changed it, yeah.
to the amendment. So you're involved in anything now? Do you do anything?
Yes, I'm still singing. Bob and I actually were high school sweethearts, and we met in choir.
Really?
Right, and he went on after we left here, he directed numerous church choirs.
Sure.
And so I always sang in his church choirs. I am currently singing in a church choir. I also am a member of 2 community choruses in Las Cruces, so, yeah.
You're
Kept
singing a solo tomorrow, aren't you?
Oh, no, I'm not doing a
I
solo.
thought I saw
here.
your name down there.
Oh, I don't think so, not as a soloist,
Really?
unless they haven't told me yet.
I thought I saw your name down there. Maybe I just saw your name.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
As I assumed maybe.
Well, I have done solo work, but,
Yeah.
you know, not here. This is for the kids. I just
Sure.
asked permission to be allowed to sing, because I didn't want to,
Yeah.
it would have been driven me crazy to sit there during rehearsal and not sing.
It has to mean a lot to you to come back here after 50
It
years
does.
and see the work that your husband started and it's still there.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Well, it's great.
And that's why I'm here, to honor, you know, what he started and kept on, because he actually taught for 42 years.
Yeah,
You know, and taught and touched, you know, over 10,000
Whoa,
people's
that's
lives. And
amazing.
so, you know, and to see all of these kids come back
Yeah.
to honor their experiences, you know, in music here in Phillipsburg is just, you know, just moves your spirit. I mean, I shouldn't be anywhere else this weekend but here.
Well, we really appreciate you coming back, and we appreciate all, when you were here, you know, and everything that
Yeah.
was done. And
Thank you.
I choke up a little bit there
Yeah.
too, so
Sorry.
no problem. That's no problem. No, nothing to be.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on, and,
Sure.
and well, I was looking forward to your solo tomorrow. Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Thank
Thanks for coming
you.
on, Lenore.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. There's another gentleman I recognize. I don't know how many, are we gonna get them all on here? I don't know. When you come on over, I guess you're sitting there to come on. Hi, Pat.
Hello.
How are things going?
Wonderfully.
Okay, you were here in 71 too, so all the ones I've had this morning are from the early years, okay? What do you remember about the amendments?
Well, the first thing I remember was when some of my buddies said, you have to try out for this new group. And I said, why? And they said, because we get to ride a bus out of town with girls.
Okay.
And I said, wow, that's good. I'll,
Okay.
I'll give that a try.
So you tried out?
I did.
And how'd that work?
And
Obviously it did. How long were you in the amendment?
all my high school
All
years.
high school years, okay. What'd you sing, tenor?
I sing tenor, yes.
What do you sing now?
I sing tenor
Still,
still.
your voice didn't go down?
No.
Okay, right. So some of the songs you recognize that you're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What anyone particular you like that's really your favorite of yours?
Oh, the one I'm singing at the time?
Okay, well, that makes sense. That's good. So, any new songs? I looked at the list, and some I'm not familiar with. A lot of them I am, you know, but just whatever they picked. How did you get the music? Through the internet, or did you get the music ahead of time?
Cheryl got us some pictures of the music that we could look at
Okay.
on the internet, and then we listened, or at least I listened to the songs on YouTube. And
Okay.
heard them perform.
Okay, well then
and,
you knew how's it been going this morning?
pretty good. We're woodshedding through a difficult song. Bridge Over Troubled Water has some really wonderfully but wonderfully complex
Oh,
harmonies.
oh, yeah, there is.
And so we're working through that right now.
Is it fun? You're enjoying this?
Oh, it's great fun, and I'm going to get to sing a duet with my sister.
Oh, you are?
And,
Oh,
so-
great. So you graduated again in 71. So what happened then after 71? What'd you do?
Oh, I went to college in Oklahoma and stayed down there, and I've been there in Oklahoma City ever since.
You live in Oklahoma City?
Yes.
Okay. And did you get, I mentioned this earlier, did you get the roads fixed? 35 through Oklahoma City has been under construction for years, you know.
Most of it is fixed.
Okay.
Most of it is fixed. Yeah.
But it has been, you go back and forth quite a bit there, and then when you turn south and go south toward Norman and everything, that's always a.
Yeah,
seen a lot of-
that's all cleared out now.
It
Yeah,
is,
plenty of
okay.
lanes.
Okay,
Plenty of lanes.
very good, all right. So what do you do? What do you do in Oklahoma City?
Well, I worked in internal audit in oil and gas companies, and then started my own audit firm in 1982.
Wow.
And we have 30 auditors.
Ooh, 30 auditors, wow.
And we audit oil companies for their partners, for royalty owners, for governments, for state royalties, those kinds of things.
I wonder if you audit my royalty company. I don't have any royalty. I have a couple not very big things down in Morton County. There's a lot of Morton County stuff. Do you get a lot of Morton County stuff that you look at?
No, for royalty owners, you really have to have large tracts
You go
to be
the
able
big,
to afford.
that makes sense, yeah.
to-
Because one track can have a lot of royalty owners on it. Yeah, 1/64th, and that
Right.
doesn't pay very much. 1/64th doesn't pay very much.
Yeah.
Nowadays, particularly, if you found a big change in the oil auditing and so on, and the income.
Oh,
has that
huge,
changed?
huge changes. People don't realize what technology the oil companies have developed and what the men and women in the oil industry do to get oil and gas out of the ground and to market where we can use it. It's a tremendously complex environment, and it's changed a lot.
Yeah. They've talked about fracking down in Morton County. I don't think you're doing that, and is it fracking or going lower to a lower level? What do they call that?
Well, what they're doing nowadays is going down, drilling a vertical hole, and then turning and doing a horizontal hole.
What's that called?
Just a horizontal well.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what they're trying some of the things, I think,
Yeah.
down there. So, had you been back here very often? You get back here very often?
I try to, and we come up every hunting season for pheasant and
okay.
quail, and my brothers and nephews and us all gather out at the farm and,
Wow.
and hunt south of Speed.
Okay, are you coming back this season?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we got to get more pheasants here. I don't see very many pheasants on the road anymore. I see more turkeys than pheasants, it seems like.
Yeah, we've had pretty good crop out south of Speed the last several
Okay,
years.
all right. Well, okay. Pat and I seeing you again. And
Good to see you.
What's your solo with your sister going to, or duet with your sister going to be? What song is it?
Oh, it's Kathy's song by Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay, I know. I'm
Really,
aware of it.
really
Yeah.
pretty song.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll look forward to that.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Pat. All right. And here's a gentleman I see every once in a while. Come on in, Marty. Marty Straub. You're a little later. You're when in
1980.
1980. So these ones have been talking to have been about 10 years before that, Marty. How are things going with you?
Going well, thank you, Ted.
Okay, we'll talk about what you're doing now in Hayes, but let's go back to when you tried out for amendment. How many years were you in it?
Oh my gosh, I just moved to Phillipsburg my junior year. My
Oh,
mom
okay.
had passed away, and Dave and Margaret Ann Kelch.
Sure,
She's
right,
my oldest sister. Dave's
right.
my brother-in-law.
Right.
My little sister and I moved in with them, and they raised us for a few years.
Wow.
So I remember Miss Stutterheim working me in. They had already done tryouts for the amendment, and she let me in anyway. So that was.
You knew you had a
nice
good
of her.
voice.
Well, I don't know about that, but then Anita Elliott was one of our teachers.
Juanita, okay.
Yes, sir.
Anita's a very good friend of mine. Of course, her husband for a long time worked with him. You remember any particular songs, Marty, that you sang?
Well, one of the songs, a song I'm singing tomorrow.
Oh, you
is-
sing a
Yeah,
solo?
yeah, I guess so. I'm going to sing your song by Elton John.
Okay,
That was a pretty popular song.
Sure.
And people hopefully will still like it after I sing it.
And what else? What other?
Oh my gosh. Really some of my memories go to not only the amendment, but the musicals that we did
Sure.
here.
Oh, yeah. See,
my-
that's another thing. The musicals. High school
Yeah, yeah.
had musicals in, didn't they?
did Little Abner my junior year, and I was a Little Abner. I remember you on Tadpole asking me, you know, Little Abner usually has dark hair, and at that time I had blonde hair. And I said, well, I guess
I remember that interview.
We'll just have to do.
Tadpole's still around too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's amazing. That was wacky. Woo, that goes. We've been around for a while.
We've been around a long
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I remember the Little Abner. That was great. So then, of course, when you graduated from school, where'd you go to school?
I went to St. Mary of the Plains College my first year, played football down there, and then finished up at Hayes. And actually, the amendment, the amendment dinner show, my junior year was my first date with my now 35-year wife.
Really?
So,
Wow.
So kind of cool.
Well, it's great stories from this. Now, did you close St. Mary's of the Plains? Or
I didn't close it.
I know they did.
closed
They
it
did.
after
I thought. You left there and went to Fort Hayes there.
Yes, sir.
Did you play football there too?
Nope, did not.
You didn't want to play football.
Studied and did other stuff.
Okay, then when did you end up being at Hayes?
Well, I ended up going to Cape and Mount Carmel.
Okay.
I taught and coached there, football, wrestling, and track for 8 years. Athletic director there my last 2 years.
Right.
Went to Derby High
Wow.
as associate principal there, and I've been at Hayes for 26 years.
You've been there that long?
I think so.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
As principal, the whole.
Assistant principal, 19 years, 7
Right.
years as 7 years as head principal. Yeah.
I keep track of what's going on in the school system down there.
I see you often. I'm glad to see you around.
I
too.
see, and I get the Hayes paper, and so I know this. I've got some problems with the papers now because they don't deliver them anymore. They come by mail, and sometimes you get there a week late. But anyway, that's
the hard
that's a
copy
whole other
papers are
story.
hard to find anymore.
Yeah,
yes,
I know
sir.
it really is. It really is anymore there. So, so what have you enjoyed about being an administrator in schools?
You know, I love hiring good people. I think that's the most important thing I do.
Yeah.
We're able to recruit and hire and retain some really good folks. The last 5 years, we've had a lot of turnover with retirements.
Sure.
And just hiring good young men and women that want to bring their families to Hayes and raise them. Last year, when we started the year, we had 7 babies under the age of 6 months.
Wow.
This year we had 3. We had 3 or 4 pregnant women right now
Wow.
on our staff. So, you know, it's a very positive time. It's fun to mentor those young men and women. It's
Didn't
fun.
they do a feature story on that with all the?
That wasn't us.
That
No,
one- what was it? What
that was
school
down
was
in
it?
that was down in Wichita.
Oh, Wichita
actually.
one. I
Yes,
saw
sir.
that, yeah, but okay.
Oh my gosh, they had like a dozen in
Yeah,
one school.
yeah.
That's not us. I couldn't cover that many.
You know, it's amazing, and again, keeping track of what you're doing. You're doing a lot of innovative things down there with moving some of your schools around too and everything. Now, how's that working?
You know, I think that we got so spread out that it was just a very inefficient, very expensive way to run schools. So we have fewer elementaries. So of course, we've only had one high school, and we've consolidated into one middle school instead of 2. But it seems to work well. Our enrollment's going up. You know, 5 years ago we were at about 735, and this year we'll be almost 900 marks. So
Are you going to be 6A again or 5A?
no, we'll
I mean,
be,
5A.
we're 5A. Yeah, we were 5A for 4 years. We were 5A last year, and we'll be 5A really for a long time to come.
Okay, so you're one of the bigger 5As then probably.
You know, probably in the middle.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You know, the bigger schools are getting bigger.
Yeah.
And when they open new schools in Kansas City, Wichita area, they open as 5 or 6A schools.
Wow, yeah.
There's just a lot more population over there.
It seems like every year there's a new Wichita Southwest or Wichita East and Northwest. And all
Feels
that.
like it, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, Marty, appreciate you coming on and enjoying knowing you through the years and everything.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your
through
service,
Dave
too.
and Meg and, you know, and so on. That.
Yes, sir.
So,
Thank
okay.
you for your service,
Sure.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Do you want to take a break now? Okay. Well, I've got someone behind you there. Oh, okay. We're going to take a break because it's noisy, and then I guess we'll come back in a little bit. Okay, so stay with us. We'll be back here for part number 2, and just say that we'll be talking to some more people. So thank you.
Okay.
We don't have to do